It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan.
All right, sorry.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you...
Name's Clay Cock.
Follow me, Mr. Cock.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
It's locked.
Did I black out? What? What happened? Whoa, I feel giddy. What? What happened?
Good evening, nurse. I'm
Dr. Swansea has already told us that...
Did he really?
All members of staff have already read about your new blood...
I see.
You must know, blood transfusion...
How are things?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a...
Sorry, Doctor. These...
Do you think that...
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold...
I'm not familiar...
Brilliant professionals, most of them.
Most of them?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there any...
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for...
Why should his aid...
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushed...
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know...
No, I may disagree.
Goodbye, Nat.
Dr. Swansea asked... Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with news...
I found a wounded man by the docks.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our...
Thank you, nurse.
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll...
Thank you.
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke...
I would like to ask... And Mr. Hampton, the patient we...
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was...
If you could point me...
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of...
What kind?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant...
It's right to assume...
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The
Thank you, Nat. Good evening, sir.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed.
That's quite a blunt...
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed.
I'm not sure...
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used...
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you...
How is this...
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's...
So what do you...
I've been an ambulance driver since
you're...
It's a complete disaster.
It sounds like...
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped from the hospital's garden.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital?
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful.
Are you really...
And why not? I've already been attacked.
But you're not defending yourself.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr...
Your name has no meaning to me.
I beg your...
What are you begging for, mortal?
You keep calling me mortal.
Well, Dr. Reed.
And why do you...
I don't need to believe anything.
Please.
I can hear my...
I see. Have you ever heard of cotton?
Never.
It's a...
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal.
I'm assuming you must...
It's only a cover. To hide...
Who are?
I cannot say for sure.
The staff?
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white.
I see.
Thank you, mortal.
Who are you really, miss?
Is that not enough for you?
I'm curious to know.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember.
I'll leave you.
I cannot enter.
Not now. Please come back later.
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Hurry up.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted...
A crisis?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted.
Sorry.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them.
I may have a solution. In France,
However,
if combined correctly,
Certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead.
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke.
Perhaps I should look there.
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been...
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital.
Yes?
Exactly how...
It really depends.
Please, could you...
It's the large board...
Why then do you...
At the Pembroke, we're all...
Your dedication to the...
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke.
That's all for now. Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my face.
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right, Doctor.
How is your stay?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you...
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work.
Can I do...
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Who is
Nobody since the old and tired doctors.
You don't seem...
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed...
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game...
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken in...
So do you let her...
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood.
She could decide to bite...
And it's another good reason for me...
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars.
Where were you stationed?
I really...
No offense. I was pushing...
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I...
Goodbye for... Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed, is it?
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory.
You remained perfectly...
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now up.
How did you end up?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his...
Why?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed.
You dared to enter...
I'm just a man trying...
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand.
People are still...
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left...
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best.
What is the
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of...
Who leads the...
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife, Edwina.
Has the gang...
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East.
Goodbye, mister.
Discussed on every street corner.
I cannot enter.
The daily routine.
Good evening, miss.
I need blood.
Tell me, Thelma.
I'm not sure.
Do you plan...
Of course not.
Would you say...
No.
I'll leave you.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
It's here again.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated.
How would you...
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and...
You must...
Sorry.
Nurse Hawkins.
I wish I could believe you.
How long?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve.
Sorry.
How is the Pembroke...
Not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than...
Why is Milton?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad...
Why does Milton...
I don't know. Just ask him.
Goodbye now.
Daily routine.
Yes, Doctor?
That's all. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're...
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival.
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr.
If you have a problem...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hot...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since...
There is no need for such animosity between us.
That is one point we could agree on, and that is precise...
Since your tenure...
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me.
Carelessness?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteers.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor.
Modern medical methods.
I don't know what you've heard about.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive.
And what exactly?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike...
Be careful what you...
I only want you to admit you used those men...
This is ridiculous.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you.
It seems you...
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as...
We can at least agree on... Thank you. Good evening, sir.
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Tell me about it.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed.
I was more curious...
I'm a carpenter. And a good one, too.
Are you satisfied with...
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive...
I won't...
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed?
In other circumstances, you would be right. Tell me about...
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea, I am Thoreau Strickland.
Please, could you tell me something?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific...
This epidemic may be the century's most...
I based my technique on my mentor's...
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and...
As long as you're cautious and methodical.
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge is the...
What can you tell me?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your...
You seem quite
I'm convinced that this epidemic...
Questions remain.
True.
Do you need help?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of product.
Do you want me to...
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop...
I see. Well, give... What do you think of...
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught...
With the influenza and all that's going on.
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the
So you believe it's just a question...
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as...
Tell me more.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that...
What is it you really want?
Fair question. I agree. But that...
Do you think...
All I know is that...
Tell me, Mr.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin.
But why would he hide?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting...
Goodbye. Good evening. Tell me about...
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because...
How could your...
I was working a double. She went out to bring me up.
You can't hold yourself responsible.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't...
Tell me more.
1915. I was in the...
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is...
How are your children?
They were smaller then.
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
It's locked, all right.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and... The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The suture... A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest.
Signs of internal bleeding. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's locked. These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Good evening, Nat.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me, even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul.
They belong to you now. The life running in your veins. Needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
Finally, you've returned.
Yes, Nat.
You've worked your first...
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the
Many thanks, Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I have...
It's my son who needs...
I'm Dr. Jonathan...
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick.
What can you...
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all...
Are you really that rich? Most...
Yes, thanks to my husband.
May I ask...
I'm a teacher by profession.
What do you think of...
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But...
Is there something in particular...
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not...
Tell me more about your arrival.
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse...
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic.
She charged...
Yes, and I paid without question.
I share...
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would...
Goodbye, Mrs. Good evening. I'm...
No.
Really?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose that this...
Yes.
Could you at least tell me...
Mortimer.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid
You are not a burden, sir.
And you have...
How
So painful.
I'm sure...
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
Why did your mother...
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest.
Is your mother...
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what...
Pembroke Hospital may look...
Stop.
Tell me...
I don't want to...
How painful...
So painful.
I'll let...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Never could keep anything from her.
I'm quite...
Tell me, Waver.
Strickland is playing with his patient's life.
Are you thinking about some...
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate...
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with...
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that.
Why do...
I strongly believe that Miss...
I really hope you're...
I'm not the kind of man who runs a...
Thank you for...
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm quite...
Thank you for your...
My sweet girl.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening, Doctor.
And
goodbye, Doctor.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening.
Tell me...
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed.
She charged you?
Yes. And
I share your...
I don't expect compensation.
Goodbye, Mrs. Gosworth.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir.
A colleague?
Not anymore, sir.
What do you mean? You used to?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be...
Are you a...
Why should I? These body... Sir.
How did you get this?
After I left the army.
Do you work here?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All...
Why do you...
Because these poor fellows have...
Why close...
It was for...
Have we met?
I don't think...
When we...
Funny...
Have we met?
I don't think...
When we first talked, you said...
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here.
A pawn?
Yes, sir.
Who come?
I'm very
What kind?
With the quarantine.
Since you're not a...
No. I believe we must do...
Do you think you would enjoy...
I don't think...
So you're...
No.
You're a wife?
No, Dr. Reed. I am...
Do you really...
As I said...
Quite...
Yes.
Please...
Of course. It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Blood and soul.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The life running in the veins. This dead flesh needs him.
Goodbye.
Spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
Hello again.
What do you do?
I manage a night.
Are you
Not at all, Doctor.
Why
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no...
How do you feel?
I feel exhausted.
You're in good?
Thank you.
Have you met?
Not really. But I reckon...
You never...
You're pre...
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. It's locked.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have...
What?
I retrieved your wallet.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what?
Not at all.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind...
Goodbye.
This is no time for self.
Good. So it is true. The famous...
Do we know?
Actually, yes.
Doctor...
He was all...
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation?
This hospital...
It's more...
Don't be...
You're exhausted.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor...
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody.
I am
What can you tell me?
Some are really good, and...
Tell me more.
Nurse Brannigan is a perp.
You really seem...
I'll go even...
Any opinion of...
I don't know.
Ah, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Kokora.
He was my patient.
What was the...
It was a twofold error.
Why not...
Are you mad? I killed that man.
Who was this patient?
I don't know.
Goodbye.
When I get back, Oliver.
Good evening.
Pepper, I know...
Yes? Milton Hooks.
I have no intention of
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Is he work?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is...
Goodbye. It's locked, all right.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Do you need...
I have...
Then ask...
You mentioned...
Certainly.
That
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence.
Yet you don't...
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries.
Since I'm...
Well, for many years we...
Where do we...
So to be honest, we cope. What we need...
Since you seem quite the expert on
As men of science...
The sun...
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You...
Must...
You are a vampire. You feed. And blood is this...
The man we...
He was a scup...
Where do...
The name mean...
Just for clarity.
A skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan. Even if they...
We'll see it... It's locked.
Good evening.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa.
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being used?
No. It is my
Why?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon.
How can you be affected by the
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reed.
Whose idea?
What difference does it make?
Answer my...
It was my idea first.
Goodbye.
How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time.
Apologies.
The pleasure is mine.
I hope you're more disposed...
You must have countless questions.
Have any of the patients...
These poor souls.
The world would be a better...
You make me...
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but...
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood.
I'm a scientist.
I will gladly...
Dr. Swansea has commissioned...
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the
What are your
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent...
Who?
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it.
If we're dealing...
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all
Please continue.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed.
I'll take...
If that was the case, I'd settle...
I'll meet that woman.
My life...
The flower's dying. It needs water.